I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. To the stripes and bright stars, to the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watch, words of gallantry streaming. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What it do, what it do, what it do. See if I'm on here. Y'all hear me all right? Man, it's been a while. It's been a long time. You know, let me get this off real quick. It's been a minute. I'm trying to get this off. Alrighty, man. What's happening, y'all, man? I'm gonna get happy Father's Day to everybody and all that stuff like that. And also at the same time, you know, this may be my last time on Facebook because I'm really going to start throwing some stuff down, you know. And also, if you want to search me, search Jay Da Vinci on Getter, which I'm also on there, as well as Trump's Truth Social. And as well, you can hit me up on Twitter, Jay Da Vinci. All of them is Jay Da Vinci and stuff like that. You can't miss me. I'm on there. And then let's get into this right now, man. And all the way things are, man. We are at a precipice inside of our country, man. On a for real, you know. We have all these things happening with the indictments and all that stuff like that, and it's getting very crazy at the moment, you know. And what's the very funny thing about it is that the indictments are always coming up when something comes up on Biden. I mean, when something comes up on Trump. And that right there is like pretty much crazy that all this actually happens and stuff like that, man. But anyways, not hear from me. You know what I'm saying? Let's sit there and just get this all started. Let's actually hear it from them. Hold on one second. I'm going to throw this up there. Let's see. Let's share the screen real quick. Okay, and this is what's been happening lately, in case you did not know or else you haven't seen this.
The legal expert Mike Davis exposes Biden's election interference plot using Trump indictment, says, we'll go all the way to the Supreme Court. Isn't it funny the day Joe Biden gets caught taking $10 million in all this?
So if it goes to D.C., right now we're in June 2023. You got a Republican primary just starting to heat up. What is the timetable for a trial in the middle of a Republican primary, possibly a general election?
Well, that's the issue. This is clearly election interference by Joe Biden. This is clearly election interference. Isn't it funny that the day that Joe Biden gets caught taking $10 million from Burisma, Biden's Attorney General Merrick Garland greenlights this indictment of his leading presidential rival? I mean, the timing is just It's just, it's just coincidental, right? Well,
Yeah.
so here's what happens. Trump could try to move to dismiss the indictment, the sufficiency of the indictment early on, because there's not a legal basis for the indictment. The Presidential Records Act, not the Espionage Act, applies. I doubt a uniparty judge is going to go along with that. And so this will probably have to get resolved by the Supreme Court. It should be 9-0 by the Supreme Court if they actually follow the law. But at the end of the day, Trump may get elected in 2024 as a convicted felon who the Supreme Court has to reverse his conviction because
Supreme Court. Let's see. Did we just talk about that? Oh, yeah, there it is. If you think leftists hate Clarence Thomas now, just wait till they figure this out.
Now, as this is going on, that we, as I said before, that they're always nonstop. Every time something comes out on Biden, now they always have to throw an indictment or somebody saying, "Oh man, he touched me a certain way," or he does this something stupid that's off the wall, and it's like kind of crazy, that all this is coming together. But the question is, why? Why are they so scared? What is going on? What are they hiding? On the 4L, what are they hiding? What is the meaning of all this? And if you sit there and you go, which I'm sitting there trying to find it right now. As I said, I had to work earlier, so I had to really rush to do this and stuff, And I mean, what's really going on? Well, to be honest, this is where I believe that all this pinpoints and starts from. And I'm going to share this with you. This was out like 2 years ago, and it was dealing with the SEAL Team 6. And remember the time when Osama bin Laden, when they said that they quote unquote killed Osama bin Laden. We never seen a body. And then before the election, as I recall, that Obama sent $2 billion to Iran. And this is like right before the election. And you know what? I did a video on this about 2 years ago, but you know what? Let's sit back and take a look at this and what I said 2 years ago, which was heavily censored. And at the same time, this was around the time that I actually got kicked off of Facebook and kicked off of Twitter when I actually aired this. And let's sit there and let's go back inside my time machine because they still haven't said nothing about this on the news. And this is going to be pretty interesting. Number one is I want to give a shout out to Next News Network. They're the one that actually broke this story before the actual election about 3 years ago and stuff like that. And let's take a look at this. Hold on 1 second. I'm sitting there looking for, brace yourself, there's a war going on. Let me hold on 1 second. 327. Here we go. This right here is actually the video which I aired about 3 years ago. And Michael Hood was on here, which I'll be sharing this with him. I just haven't got, if not, if anybody out there got Michael Hood's Facebook, please send the link to him. I didn't get a chance to do that, but me and him was talking about this back in the day. Here this goes.
She was there when the information was transferred to.
I think, what was it? We came, we saw, he's dead. Quote by Hillary Clinton. Well, anyways, since this is going down and all that, let's take a look at this. I mean, it's really crazy. I mean, real crazy that all this is happening right now. And Great time to live. Great time to live. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we are literally living in a new transformation of America. You know, and I'm going to share this. And here we go.
She was there when the information was transferred to a person of influence in the United States government. And break this all down for us. This is huge news. What are the implications for Obama, Hillary, Brandon? What did you hear on those audio recordings?
First of all, I want to say, thank you, Gary, for having me on. I want to say this is the most explosive information that Americans and the entire world will ever hear. I have to say, these men are heroes. Alan, Charles, Nick, they are American heroes. It's an honor to even be a part of this. I was not expecting this at all. I was attending American Priority Conference in Florida, where Trump are all, and they were the last ones to speak. Save the best for last, because shockingly, they gave this presentation, dropped this Benghazi bombshell on all of our heads, and we're all wondering what in the world just happened. I came up to honor these wonderful men. They're Christian men. They're spirit-filled men. As a Christian, I wanted to honor them as American patriots and heroes. And they basically said, "Hey, we need someone to help release this right now. Would you help us?" And so I jumped on the bandwagon. We got to my room right away, put this stuff out there. They showed me a lot of the documents. I heard the audios. I heard even more audios this morning. Gary, it is explosive. The audios that they have, I can't mention some of the names, but I'll tell you the biggest names in intelligence, the biggest names in the Obama administration, Brennan, Clinton. There's so much. It ties into Joe Biden. There is so much here. What this administration has done is absolute treason. Now, we all know, and not all of us actually in America are aware that something was wrong with Benghazi. Okay, there were red flags there, and there was big red flags with SEAL Team 6 who took out Osama bin Laden. It was interesting timing right before Obama's re-election, how this bin Laden raid happened. But turns out that all of these stories, they're all linked together. This is the best kept secret in this country until now. It is time to come forward, and I'm so blessed that this man, Alan, who has an extensive history in the Middle East, over 20 years working intelligence in the Middle East, who regrets some of the things that he has done, but has come forward as a Christian saying, it's time to release this information. He has thousands of files, thousands of documents that are in the hands of these whistleblowers. So it's a team effort, and a lot of media sources have this information. As you have said, a congressperson has received this disc last night. I was there. It happened right in front of me. We're about to see some explosive things surface. I'll tell you a little quick preview of what it's about. Obviously, you have Nick No, who is a Benghazi whistleblower who reached out to Charles Woods after his son died in Benghazi. He was a sniper up on the roof in Benghazi. His father, Charles Woods, never knew what happened to Tyrone Woods. He was lied to by the Obama administration, telling them that they had done everything that they could to protect those men, which was a bold-faced lie. They did not. Charles Woods explains it in his presentation, which is up on my YouTube if you want to see the entire presentation. He explained what Obama wrote him a 3-sentence letter, Gary, a 3-sentence letter completely lying to him. And what happened was, after Charles went on different interviews and it went viral, there were intelligence people that reached out to Charles and said, that is not what happened. You were lied to. This is what happened. Benghazi, Hillary Clinton and the Obama administration, they were sending weapons, Stinger missiles from Libya to Syria, and it was going through Benghazi. And they allowed all those men to be taken out because of what they knew. And he also found out, in addition to that, which is insane, he found out more information about SEAL Team 6 with Osama bin Laden, which is what is all of this is coming out. It's all connected together. So
from what I've been able to gather so far, listening to the whistleblower himself, looking over the different articles that have already been published, in conversations with people, yourself, other sources, what I'm able to gather here is that the entire operation to take out Osama bin Laden was orchestrated with Hillary Clinton. So Hillary Clinton goes out. She sends out SEAL Team 6. They don't tell Obama. They say, Obama, you're going to have to deal with this, because they've been hiding Osama bin Laden in Iran. And apparently, I mean, even CBS News punched the story.
And Iran knew about it.
And Iran knew about it. They were hiding him there. Back in 2010, CBS News punched a story because they thought it would be harmful to Barack Obama. So it was actually known, but they dropped the ball. So what ends up happening is you have the SEAL Team 6 goes in, Hillary orders the hit, and then Iran sends Osama bin Laden down to that hideout where he was supposedly hiding, but then they switch him out last minute.
Yeah.
SEAL Team 6 goes in there, and they kill the decoy. And now they go up in the air, they finish their mission, but now they all know that they didn't kill Osama bin Laden, but America, everyone's celebrating in front of the White House that very moment. So now you've got a serious problem on your hands. And Iran says, guess what? We're going to tell the world that you lied to your people unless you send us the money. Is that basically what we're talking about in a nutshell here?
In a nutshell, that's exactly what happened.
Wow. So through all this bullshit, everything that's happening, we were blackmailed. Well, not we, but Iran put this information on ransom, and that's why the 1.5 billion, well, $1.5 billion was sent to Iran before the election. Wow. All I can say, wow. And bin Laden was a decoy. I mean, really, the rhyme gets went for, all these years, 2010, everybody's, oh yeah, man, well, President Obama killed bin Laden and all that stuff like that. But wait, before we go there, you know what I'm saying? Here's the whistleblower. Here is the whistleblower right here, okay? Now this is straight. This is straight crazy. This is straight crazy. Now shit's getting ready to hit the fan. Right here, okay, is oh shit, they took the video off already. I won't follow her and hit her tweet. Watch, this gets deeper once the actual whistleblower actually comes out. Here we go.
Burial at sea. Nonsense. And so this big lie.
Let's go back to the beginning real quick. This is this right here, the guy on the left. Now this happened like recently. I said sorry for my voice, but this happened just recently. So all this information is coming out, and not many people sitting there talking about it. But let alone that, since it hasn't been on the news thing, you'll probably see it in the news cycle tomorrow within the next few days when they have to sit there and point it out. But right here is the actual whistleblower and what happened, what she was talking about. It's smaller. I don't know what's happening. Wow. through technical difficulties at the moment, or they're trying to take this tweet off or delete this video. See, man, what are these motherfuckers hiding for real? You just heard some of it. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I'll sit there and I'll fix that. I will fix that right now. I'll get the original video. I'll get the video. I was having so much problems that day, man, because they weren't letting it play and all that stuff like that. It was crazy that day, just trying to get this information out. See if I can see it. Okay, here we go. They be messing with us. See, you for real, God? Now you want to get here? Get on the link. Get on the link. Hold on, I'm gonna get you on. Hold on 1 second. Let me put the link out there. Also, the link is on if y'all want to come in. I'll sit there and I'll throw it up there again. There you go, guys. Now get on that bad boy. I mean, I said this is like hot off the presses, man. I'm like, wow. There you go, God's night. You know, I mean, I'm getting ready to change this to get to the whistleblower real quick.
It was so obvious. He said it was a Muslim burial at sea. Nonsense. And so this big.
Well, let's take a look now at the whistleblower before we get to Anna. We'll be right back with Anna after this.
You think you know not to lie about something so obvious. He said it was a Muslim burial at sea. Nonsense. And so this big lie that you see that Biden, Hillary, and Clinton worked this agreement with Iran. They trusted Iran to move bin Laden to Pakistan. He did. He was there. But then they trusted Iran to keep him there. They moved him out back to Iran. And then the communication from Iran to Obama was, hey, we got your neck in a noose.
What's up, Jay?
What's up, man?
$152 billion, $2 billion on airplane pallet.
Oh yeah, it was $2 billion. Excuse me, I thought it was $1.5 billion.
Now and to the president under the terms of this treason and treason. That is to say, this is a secret. These are secrets worth $152 billion paid by President Obama and Vice President Biden.
What's up, JT?
Paid with the blood of SEAL Team 6 when he had them killed.
It's blackmail and extortion. It's with the blood of those 38 Marines that were murdered in the plane.
Here you have the documents to prove. Yes. Now, if they were on, yes, sir.
I was going to ask you, if you have those documents, are you willing to personally deliver those to President Trump if he were to provide the transportation and the guarantee of safety for you to do that?
Well, I'm not concerned about safety. There's always an invisible hand that protects us, and we're on the winning team. America's on the winning team.
Not one sparrow falls to the ground outside of God's will.
Remember, this was about 3 years ago.
To bring this material to President
almost 3 years ago.
There's a massive amount of terabytes.
Terabytes, bro.
Video.
Terabytes.
It needs to go to the president.
I will do everything that I can to get this video.
And now, joining me.
Now, think about this, bro. All right? If it sat there and broke out today, man, all right? This broke out about like 3 hours ago, all right? Roughly about 3 hours ago. All right? It's not on the news yet, so it might not be on the news cycle for the next, like, I'd say about maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, or maybe not until next week, because right now everybody's feeling they can try to debunk this. And also, by the way, This wasn't even on the news at all.
Right?
And it is 2 to 3 years later.
It's also tweeted to the president to let y'all know.
Yep. Yeah, he knows about this already.
Right, but before you try to censor or kick me off, you know, y'all have a big lawsuit because it's on record now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that. I'll go because it's a shame that we sit there and get the news before the fake news, and I'm just a regular average Joe Blow on the fucking streets. You know what I mean? Ain't that crazy? So crazy. What's your thoughts on this, man, so far? I got more.
Well, I know there's more, dude. Like I told you in chat, I've been telling people for this for years when it happened, man. They never killed him. Did the CIA? They never killed their own. Like Saddam, they never killed that dude. He was still alive. They never killed their own assets. These guys are actual CIA. They're not contract. They're not outsiders.
But it's going to come down that it's the SEAL Team 6 that was, they tried to kill them in Benghazi.
Yep. All this has to do with the Marines that died, the 38, Benghazi, and up to Soleimani, dude. This goes way back as well, up into what's going on right now, when when Trump off Soleimani.
I'm like, I sat there. I mean, I knew it, but I'm like, wow, that we were lied to.
Oh, I knew we were lied to, dude.
I knew it, but when it came out, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's coming out. I mean, it's so close to the election and all this shit is coming out. It's unreal, and a lot of people are not really, you know, talking about this. You know what I'm saying? Or even talking about this subject. And I thought that this subject was very, very relevant because I mean, this is part of this cabal, you know.
Yep.
But as we go, I'll go deeper into this interview. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's cool, Jake. Go for it, man.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Yeah, but I'll go deeper into this interview. Okay, wait.
Yeah, he's dead now. I mean, he's dead now because he's died of natural causes.
American patriots and heroes, and they basically said, "Hey, we need someone to help release this right now. Would you help us?" And so they were the last ones to speak. Save the last bat.
What did you hear on those audio recordings?
I will do everything that I can to get this video.
And now,
let's go to rewind to this.
Anna Kate. Anna has personally seen and heard the evidence firsthand. She was there when the information was transferred to a person of influence in the United States government. Anna, break this all down for us. This is huge news. What are the implications for Obama, Hillary, Brandon? What did you hear on those audio recordings?
First of all, I want to say, thank you, Gary, for having me on. I want to say this is the most explosive information that Americans and the entire world will ever hear. I have to say, these men are heroes. Alan, Charles, Nick, they are American heroes. It's an honor to even be a part of this. I was not expecting this at all. I was attending American Priority Conference in Florida where Trump Doral, and they were the last ones to speak. Save the best for last, because shockingly, they gave this presentation, dropped this Benghazi bombshell on all of our heads, and we're all wondering what in the world
I got my voice is a little bit
I came up to honor these wonderful men. They're Christian men. They're spirit-filled men. As a Christian, I wanted to honor them as American patriots and heroes. And they basically said, "Hey, we need someone to release this right now. Would you help us?" And so I jumped on the bandwagon. We got to my room right away, put the stuff out there. They showed me a lot of the documents. I heard the audios. I heard even more audios this morning. Gary, it is explosive. The audios that they have, I can't mention some of the names, but I'll tell you the biggest names in intelligence, the biggest names in the Obama administration, Brennan, Clinton. There's so much. It ties into Joe Biden. There's so much here.
Oh my God, dude.
Absolute treason. Now, we all know, and not all of us actually in America are aware that something was wrong with Benghazi. Okay, there were red flags there, and there was big red flags with SEAL Team 6 who took out Osama bin Laden. It was interesting timing, right?
Man, this is all good, man. You go,
re-election
bro. I got
this-
my voice
this-
is messed up.
You know, bin Laden raid happened, but turns out that all of these stories, they're all linked together. This is the best.
Make sure
kept
y'all share
secret in
this
this
too.
country until now. It is time to come forward, and I'm so blessed that this man, Allen, who has an extensive history in the Middle East, over 20 years working intelligence in the Middle East, who, regrets some of the things that he has done, but has come forward as a Christian saying it's time to release this information. He has thousands of files, thousands of documents that are in the hands of these whistleblowers. So it's a team effort, and a lot of media sources have this information. As you have said, a congressperson has received this disc last night. I was there. It happened right in front of me. We're about to see some explosive things surface. I'll tell you a little quick preview of what it's about. Obviously, you have Nick
And they
Nell,
kept
who is
this
a
quiet
Benghazi
for
whistleblower,
years.
who reached out to Charles Woods after his son died in Benghazi. He was a sniper up on the roof in Benghazi. His father, Charles Woods, never knew what happened to Tyrone Woods. He was lied to by the Obama administration, telling them that they have done everything that they could to protect those men, which was a bold-faced lie. They did not. Charles Woods explained it in his presentation, which is up on my YouTube if you want to see the entire presentation. He explained what Obama wrote him a 3-sentence letter, Gary, a 3-sentence letter completely lying to him. And what happened was, after Charles went on different interviews and it went viral, there were intelligence people that reached out to Charles and said, that is not what happened. You were lied to. This is what happened. Benghazi, Hillary Clinton and the Obama administration, they were sending weapons, Stinger missiles from Libya to Syria, and it was going through Benghazi.
Shout out to Gary Franchi, man.
What the fuck,
all those
man?
men to be taken out because of what they knew. And he also found out, in addition to that, which is insane, he found out more information about SEAL Team 6 with Osama bin Laden, which is what is all of this is coming out. It's all connected together.
So from what I've been able to gather so far, listening to the whistleblower himself, looking over the different articles that have already been published, in conversations with people, yourself, other sources, what I'm able to gather here is that
that's why they tried so hard to make Assad look like a bad guy.
Osama bin Laden was orchestrated with Hillary Clinton. So Hillary Clinton goes out. She sends out SEAL Team 6. They don't tell Obama. They say, Obama, you're going to have to deal with this, because they've been hiding Osama bin Laden in Iran. And apparently, even CBS News punched the story.
And Iran knew about it.
And Iran knew about it. They were hiding him there. Back in 2010, CBS News punted a story because they thought it would be harmful to Barack Obama. So it was actually known, but they dropped the ball. So what ends up happening is you have the SEAL Team 6 goes in, Hillary orders the hit, and then Iran sends Osama bin Laden down to that hideout where he was supposedly hiding, but then they switch him out last minute. Yeah. SEAL Team 6 goes in there, and they kill the decoy. And now they go up in the air, they finish their mission, but now they all know that they didn't kill Osama bin Laden. But America, everyone's celebrating in front of the White House that very
moment. I remember that shit.
So now you've got a serious problem.
We came, we saw, he's dead.
Tell the world that you lied to your people unless you send us the money. Is that basically what we're talking about in a nutshell here?
In a nutshell, that's exactly what happened. And the implications of this, the administration in cohorts with Iran, protecting bin Laden. And I have to say, I just heard the audio clip this morning of a congressman. He will be named, I won't name his name right now, who is not a good guy, who is on these audio tapes with Allen talking about, well, let's hold off killing Osama bin Laden until the time is right so we can use him as a trophy. The word trophy wasn't used.
You heard a congressman say that?
Yes, I did. I heard it. I don't have the file. They have it. It's being released. It's given to the congressman last night. Media has it as well. They're hopefully soon they'll release it. But I heard this. I heard that on the audio that they said.
It was out last night. It's not even out today.
What happened was Iran last second, like you were
They're
saying,
holding this shit, brother.
Decided to take Osama out.
Yeah, because it's leverage.
And we still haven't heard about this yet. And they haven't. This is one of the reasons why they are after Donald Trump. This is why they want him in jail. This is big. This will open up the whole Pandora's box. This is why all this stuff that's going on right now is keying from all of this.
Then to basically throw his body parts over the mountains, which in the news media they said it was they dropped his body in the water, which by the way is haram, which Alan explains, having lived in the Middle East over 20 years. He said that's haram. When you bury a Muslim, you bury them in the ground and their head faces Mecca. There is no way that they would ever, as a Muslim, and John Brennan being director of the CIA would know that because he's Muslim himself. He would know not to ask them to drop it off over the mountain. So the Navy, the SEAL Team 6 knew what was going on, and I'm sure they knew they were in big trouble. And obviously they were all slaughtered and all left to die by this administration, not this administration, by Obama administration. And what happened, like you said, Iran on audio tapes, it's going to come out, making deals with the Obama administration and Joe Biden's administration, saying, if you do not send us $152 billion, we will release this information, and you will not get reelected. So, what did Obama do?
You mentioned that money, but I also heard Perot say there was $2 billion that was also earmarked. I don't mean to interrupt you, but please continue.
No, that's exactly what I was going to get to. Exactly. So there was $2 billion in cash that was sent from America to Iran. That $2 billion on audio is recorded. I haven't heard it, but I know we have it. Is that the administration said that $2 billion cash is going to go back to the Americans, back to the politicians, in order to keep their mouth shut. So they sent, $150 billion, but $2 billion in cash, so we can come back and take care of the people who are keeping this massive treasonous secret.
So $2 billion gets redirected of that 150.
And that was that money that was sent before the election, then, correct?
I can only assume that some of the people on that phone call were recipients of that dirty money, perhaps that congressman, perhaps John Brennan, Hillary Clinton. What are your thoughts?
That's right. And actually, there's also a lot of documents that points Clinton Foundation with terrorism in the Middle East, and also McCain's foundation also implicated. This is explosive. And once the congressman is going to go through this evidence, there's a plethora of it. Once he realizes that this is legitimate, that this intel is coming from a source who is credible. Not only that, Gary, but there are other operatives who have confirmed this information, specifically to Charles Woods, which I'm sure
it's going to come out. Kerry and McCain.
So
those
the implication of this is treason.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm a Christian, but you are treasonous traitor. Gallows, hang on the own gallows that you have set for us, our Americans. In America, we protect our military men. We protect them. We don't let them die. We don't call off search and rescues. We don't call off CCO missions to rescue them out of Benghazi. This is absolutely disgusting. And I have a feeling that the mainstream media is not going to want to cover this, but they're going to have no choice because this information is already viral. That's why we released it last night. It went viral. The American people want to know what's going on, what has happened under our noses. How much were we lied to? We want to know the truth. It's time.
Man, thoughts, bro, thoughts. So far.
I'm pretty sure you know what my thoughts are, man. I mean, I've known this stuff for a while as well too, ever since it happened.
Right. And all this time, these punk ass motherfuckers, liberals and all that stuff like that, man, you know, they're like threatening us, man, calling us conspiracy theorists and all this stuff like that.
Yep.
And boom. I mean, this is out there. It's out there. The press is not going to put this out. But as I even wouldn't be honest with you. When I sat there and I saw, I didn't watch the whole video. I got up here. I said, you know what, man? Because I want to tell you what. This is how I want to do this shit from now on, right? I'm going to do this like they do with movies. These are fucking reaction videos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then this is what I'm looking at. This right here is just a reaction video, man. You know, and it's crazy. It's so crazy that this is happening because I want people, and I'm sure I'm glad you're here to see our reactions on this. All right. So back in 2010, what have you heard, brother? Or what did you feel back in 2010 when Osama bin Laden? I mean, I didn't think he was dead. I didn't. Especially when the water thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I never believed it, dude. He was too important for them to kill. Like I said, he was brought into the CIA, not as a contractor, but he was full-fledged.
Yeah, and then at the same time, when I was during the Twin Towers, right? Why was his family with the fucking Bushes?
Because they're being protected, dude.
Mm-hmm. And people in generalization, I mean, they sit there and they fail to see that the Bin Laden family was with the Bushes the day was with the Bush family while President Bush was in the school. But during that day, they were in Texas with the daddy. Okay. Now remember this in 9/11. All air traffic, right, was grounded. Everything.
Yep.
I mean, when what's his name? Moore, you know what I'm saying? Fahrenheit 9/11, you know what I'm saying? When Moore wasn't crazy. When you know what I'm saying? Well, basically Fahrenheit 9/11 was basically Moore's best in Columbine, going for Columbine was still today, even though I don't like Michael Moore today because he's a complete fucking idiot. I don't know what happened to him, and I still don't know what happened.
They got a lot of shit on him, dude.
What?
They got shit on him that he doesn't want to go out to get out.
Right.
Like everybody else. They got into the occult bullshit.
Right, because Fahrenheit 9/11 was one of the best red pill documentaries I've ever seen. I mean, I think Fahrenheit 9/11 was the one that really made me start questioning shit.
Yeah, he was good what he did back then when he first started coming out with everything.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
They got to him, man.
Kudos, hats off to fucking Michael Moore.
Man. All of them, Obama,
information for them to deny that this happened. Way too much.
For deleting me. You know what I'm saying? It goes, we know now. We know. You know what I'm saying? And I don't give a fuck.
Rhyme gets rougher as the rhyme goes on, yo. Not over yet.
Only thing I want to do is just live my life and people leave me the fuck alone and then let me be happy.
Exactly. That's the way it should be, man. Everybody should be able
That's all the
to
fuck I want,
self-govern
man.
themselves, live the way they're supposed to, how our Constitution and Bill of Rights
All right?
guide us to do, guides our government to do.
Uh-huh. I mean, that's all we want as real fucking conservatives, man.
Yeah. Allow.
Hold
Okay,
on a
every
second.
plat and everything. They got it. You can't get patents on.
Come out. There is a hot chance this will come out, and that is why they never wanted President Trump to win. He wasn't supposed to win, according to them. They were trying to steal it from him. That's why they're trying to impeach him. That's why they're doing anything, even crashing an economy with a pandemic, COVID, to make sure that he doesn't get reelected. He will get reelected in Jesus' name. And when these documents do come out, when the congressman asks to hold hearings, subpoenas will come out. I'm ready. I don't know if you got your popcorn ready, Gary, but I got my popcorn ready for justice in this country. This is 2020 has been crazy, but hopefully it's full of justice.
And I want to look at your Twitter here. You say a member of Congress received a majority of the documents last night. You also said a well-respected general that you all know and love said everything that came out is spot on. So you have some high-ranking general who's confirmed all this already.
Yes, this high-ranking general confirmed it with Charles Woods. He spoke to Charles Woods this morning and said everything that he covered is spot on.
Yeah.
This general is going to be named, I'm not going to mention his name, but a lot of people know who he is. He's very well loved. So
General Flynn, baby. He knows where the bodies are. Oh, shit.
Right.
General fucking Flynn, dude.
Woo! I want to ask everyone who's watching right now to share this information with anyone that you can. Your liberal friends, your lefty friends. Let them have a moment to break this down in their minds before it explodes on them on national television. And I hope it does. I don't see how they can get away from this, Gary. There's, first of all, I have to say, with the amount of audios that I've heard,
where we go, one we go, all baby.
There is no justification for what was caught on audio, pictures, documents that John Brennan signed. There's too much information for them to deny that this happened. Way too much. So I don't think it's a surprise that Kamala Harris pushed, getting rid of nooses and for treason after the Justice Smollett case. I don't think it's a coincidence that all happened. We're about to have the most
That's what it was about, saving their own necks.
revelation of American history treason, the biggest that we've ever experienced in this country.
Now, what do we know about the whistleblower himself and how he got the information, his role in it all? I understand that he was actually a falconer. Am I right?
Yeah, he was. How cool is this, Gary? He was a falcon trainer. I mean, who does that? He's a falcon trainer. I can't tell you much about him, but I will say this. He has been working in the Middle East for over 20 years, has very high-level connections in the Middle East, and as you can tell by watching his video, he looks like a wizard. But he has to blend in. So he's very credible. The Obama administration knows very, very well who he is. They're very familiar with him. Now, these recordings were literally recorded by Allen. Some of them were not, but most of them were phone calls, conversations, documents that he was privy to.
Oh my God, dude.
He has a lot of this information for a long time. But I will say the phone calls that I have heard, the majority of them are Allen on the phone with these congressmen.
Fucking Gandalf got his
very
ass.
high intelligence agencies.
So some more background.
Gandalf the White.
A double agent provided DNA to a CIA station chief that it was bin Laden in Abbottabad, and then they sent in SEAL Team 6, and they only told Obama about SEAL Team 6, the kill mission, after it was over. And then the radar was put back up so that they could not go back. It was a one-way trip, he said. And he says, we have witnesses who say that Hillary and Panetta were threatening Obama that if he didn't go along with the kill mission, that they would go to the press and he would not survive politically. That is when they pulled him off the golf course after it was over. The architects that he states, the whistleblower states, were Hillary Clinton, John Brennan, and Leon Panetta. SEAL Team 6 killed Osama's double. or a decoy based on one of the wives who screamed that is why they didn't save the body. They threw the body parts over the mountains, and John Brennan told.
So they framed Obama.
So this
They
is
were blackmailing him because he wasn't legit.
It is. It's insane. And I want to have one look.
Could Obama be innocent?
No.
No, he's not. He was.
I mean, I'm not saying. I'm not saying
No,
it
he's
is.
not.
I'm not saying it
Yeah,
isn't.
he's not. He's not.
He's
You
not.
know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not looking at this as in. I mean, I don't trust Obama. You know what I'm saying? Because of what he's doing now. But
Yeah, I'm not being biased or nothing with this guy, dude. Obama
Huh?
is not innocent in any of this at all, in any shape, way, or form.
Well, he's just in and locked in, and he signed his soul from that moment on.
Because he wasn't even in the situation room when this went down, like they just said. He was out playing hooky.
Not just that, but he was already in.
That's what I'm saying. That he was out the door. I'm not defending Obama.
Jay.
But you know what I'm saying? But if he was out and they brought him in and says you're going to go along with this, yada yada yada.
Plausible deniability, man. That's like saying, you know what? Shit's going down. Trump should be in the situation room watching this happen. But what does he go do? He goes play hooky to feign ignorance. That's what they do best.
Or he did that, or he played hooky and did that on purpose, like he did.
Yeah, exactly. It's on purpose. It's to feign ignorance, plausible deniability, and that goes a long way in their court system.
Not just
If you invoke plausible deniability, then they're going to take you for your word for it. If it's Obama, if Trump were to do it, they would hold that guy to the fire with no questions.
But remember, they said that they were blackmailing Obama. Well, gee, what is it that they're all linked into? Child trafficking.
Yeah, I mean that's all I'm saying. I mean, we heard
that
it. You know what I'm saying?
Which is coming out right now about the child trafficking.
So that changes everything. That changes everything, bro.
No, he's not innocent because that's what they were blackmailing him with. Guarantee it.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's something that we got really see when that shit comes out. You know what I'm saying? But we should keep that well noted in the back of our fucking minds. I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm not saying he's guilty. And don't record me and say that because I can't stand Obama. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fruits that he bears and what he's doing, what he has done, and why things that happen for him, like the Nobel Peace Prize. And what the fuck did he do?
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? So he's not out of the fucking woods.
You got it for bombing people with drone strikes.
But playing hooky and while this shit's happening in the situation room, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of fucking funny.
Yeah, because they're like, so it's plausible deniability, man, because he has an alibi, quote unquote.
Right,
an
or
alibi.
it could be an alibi, and I get that. And I get that too.
God's night. Remember that guy that was supposed to be murdered yesterday? Remember, or was it the day before?
Who? I didn't get that news. Who was that?
Denver. In Denver.
Yeah, in Denver.
Yeah.
Okay. That Veritas is coming out tomorrow with a big one on Colorado. Anyhow, alibi, TV station, the newscaster, and his quote unquote bodyguard.
Oh yeah, the dude that got shot in the face.
Right.
Yes,
okay.
sir. In Denver.
The television station jumped right away to give those two guys alibis. It don't make them innocent by any means. Okay? Now, Obama, golfing, alibi. Don't mean that he was innocent. Think about it.
I want to get more information on that because right there, I'll go. That brings a lot. That brings a lot of questions inside my head. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
But
stuff
think
like
about
that. And I mean, I can speculate and I listen to other speculations, but I would like to get more facts on just that moment.
Yeah, that's fair. And that's fair, G.
Right. But what I'm getting at is he may have known. Okay, and still went to the golf course to get quote unquote alibis that were feeble alibis to say, I didn't know nothing. I'm innocent, when he knew before he even went there.
But remember, there's terabytes of information, so he probably because of the text, which you know what I'm saying, which you know what I'm saying, which it is part of that. I guess it's about text or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think I was further in this than I thought I was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But let's proceed through this video, but just keep this moment.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it, bud.
No correction there.
Alan said
Oh,
all
shit.
of the
Allowed all those men to be taken out because of what
Osama bin Laden in Iran, in that hideout where he was supposedly
cohorts with Iran protecting bin Laden. And I have to say, I just heard the audio clip this morning of a congressman. He will be named, I won't name his name right now, who is not a good guy, who is on these.
the Iranians go, guess what? Pay up. Pay up. I mean, who knows?
We were saying last minute decided to take Osama out, and so there was a decoy, a double, whatever it was. When the SEAL Team 6 team came in to kill Osama, they had direct orders not to. By the way, it's haram, which happened, like you said, Iran on off.
But last minute, the Iranians double-crossed and they pulled Osama out, which then created a massive problem for them because now you have SEAL Team 6. Everyone's celebrating, like I said before, in front of the White House that Osama bin Laden's been killed. And now the Iranians go, guess what? Pay up. Pay up. I mean, who knows, like, to the extent of the architecture of this entire operation, maybe that was the plan all along so that they could get billions of dollars funneled back into the United States. I don't know. I'm just drawing out these different conclusions that could potentially be on the mark.
See, it's a good question. I don't know if they wanted to if they necessarily didn't want Osama to be there, but he was being heavily protected for a long time. We knew where he was. The point is that
I think Iran protected him on purpose
to get reelected,
and he was working with Soleimani.
They grabbed him anytime they wanted. I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't know that he's not there and that he wasn't there when they got there. So it's a good question. I don't know if we're ever going to find out that information, but it will leave it to the American people to decide what really happened.
I'm going to pull up your Twitter account again here, and you said you've got thousands and thousands of people. Oh, you also were a contestant on Survivor. I remember that. That's a really unique story there. So I want people to make sure they go to your YouTube channel as well to get this entire. I mean, I started watching this, as you can see on the screen here. This is the Benghazi betrayal, Charles Woods and Nick No at AmFest USA. Now, this is the article I find to be very interesting. CBS News, 60 Minutes, spiked story on Osama bin Laden in Iran. The White House feared the story could have negative impact for the Obama re-election. So this was already known. People knew that he was hiding out there and he was being protected.
Well, I remember that shit. I heard shit about that too.
Sorry, my computer charger. My computer's about to die. I missed that last question.
Well, I was just bringing up the point here from CBS News, 60 Minutes,
yes.
And this was already known, but now we have a major whistleblower coming forward. I know your computer's about to die, so I don't want to lose you. But Anna, thank you for taking the time to come on with me today and to break this news. We're going to continue to follow this story. Any final thoughts before your computer dies?
Final thoughts are this. Pray for these people. Pray for Alan Perot. Pray for Nick No, pray for Charles Woods, pray for these men, pray for our congressman that has these documents, pray for the media to release it, pray for this to go absolutely viral. It is already viral and we don't even have all the documents out yet publicly. It will be slow drops We will see little by little what has happened. And I'm telling you, it's going to explode everyone's mind, especially, I should say, including the Democrats. I have a feeling they're going to try to say this is fake news, but they cannot deny the voices they will hear.
Imagine once this gets into the hands of Ratcliffe and Jordan, just those two men alone.
They never thought or thinking that these documents would ever come out. Pray for Alan's safety. He is out there in the Middle East. So again, he's just sorry. He is ready to be transported to a different area. I'll just say that, but just keep him in prayer. Okay.
Anna, thank you so much. We certainly will do that. Lift all of them up in prayer so they can be protected. But this is tremendous information, and I cannot wait to hear the actual recordings as they go viral. It's going to be very difficult for the left to dispute these things, for Brennan and Hillary and whoever this congressman is. I'm anxious to find out who exactly this congressman is.
Now let's sit back and just think about this, right? Now this is like 3 years ago that all this is happening and all that stuff like that, right? Okay. Now we're going up today. Now they talked about before was the child trafficking. Also, you might as well say with Obama and stuff like that, a little quid pro quo, doing with Osama bin Laden, and which runs all the way to Mari, where they're even talking about Burisma and the 17 tapes that was happening with that. Also Hollywood getting exposed, that a lot of stars and stuff are coming out saying what's actually happening in Hollywood. Also what's happening inside the border itself, that people are still coming in the border and all that. And I'm just going to be honest with you, man. It's all about these sales. You know what I'm saying? We have millions of people here inside the United States that are illegal. All right. And then out there on the border, which I had some firsthand experiences. Too bad I don't got that video and stuff like that. But that video was taken off. We'll have to get a hold of a friend of mine with that video of actually what was happening in the border when they were first actually coming in. Because it wasn't just people that was coming from like Nicaragua, Central America, and all that stuff like that. These people were actually coming from China. Some people were coming from Africa. Some people were coming from the Middle East and all that stuff like that. And these people weren't even Hispanic, but let alone on the news, on the MSM, they were sitting there talking about, oh, if you don't let these people in, then you're racist. Now, and we were against Mexicans and all that, and most of these cats wasn't even Mexican. Even right now today, okay? Right now today, we have people coming in, and they said, oh yeah, we reinstated some of Trump's policies and stuff like that. But what about those hundreds of thousands of people that came into the country, you know what I'm saying, that's unregistered? Only thing they did was they gave them a court date and said them to come back, which most of them are not going to come back. And we tend to forget that it only took 7 people to take down the Twin Towers. 7. All right. So it doesn't it doesn't matter. Okay. If it doesn't matter, like, oh well, I mean, it doesn't matter that these people come in and stuff like that, and they're undocumented and stuff. But let alone is how many of these people are actually terrorists? How many of these people were actually actually came from other countries? Now, if these people were in such trouble coming into their countries, coming from other countries like China, that's coming from Africa, that's coming from the Middle East, and all that stuff like that, didn't you ever have a question inside your mind is, how did they get here? Who paid for them to get? Who paid for these people to get here to the United States to just walk across our border with the Central Americans, Mexicans, or whatever like that? How is this happening? Well, let alone is when we were we were south of the border, okay, that a lot of these cats were coming there, and this was all funded by the United Nations, the World Economic Forum, and all these cats like that. All these cats with this new world order type stuff, this cabal. All right. These people, right, are really, really dangerous. But let alone at the same time, just recently, as I seen today during a Juneteenth celebration. You know, there are 20 people. The 20 people shot during a Juneteenth celebration in Chicago. 20 people, and this is just off. This is just off the presses that I was sitting there looking at. All right. Now we sit there, and now we're sitting there having all these fires and all that stuff like that, right? And if you look on the satellite maps, which I'll probably pull them out and pull them up and stuff like that, that how in the heck did all these fires come up simultaneously at the same time? What's going on? Meanwhile, they're giving you the smoke and mirrors about aliens and all that stuff like that, which some people are sitting there talking about Project Blue Beam and all that. And at the same time, oh yeah, we've seen aliens and they're definitely not human. Okay, let's give it a benefit of a doubt, right? Then it's called one of these cats were not actually aliens, but these cats are actually demons. Okay, the opening of the abyss. You know what I'm saying? We are inside of very, very biblical times at the moment. All right. Like all this in Revelation is all coming true. Okay, and we all gotta sit there and get right with God. And there are people that don't even care. I mean, come on, look at the blame Dodgers game when they're using a cross as a blame as a blame dancing pole or stripping pole, like if you're inside of a strip club, and they're sitting there going, and it's all for the LGBT whatever they call it. Okay, the Dodgers. Now it's coming up that now they want to have a Christian day, and they're sitting there reaching because there was nobody at the blame stadium. Everybody was outside of blame stadium. We are in some very, very evil times here. And some of y'all out there, you know, that are pastors, that are preachers, and all that stuff like that, y'all ain't saying nothing. Oh, yeah, God's going to save me and all that stuff like that. But you got to do the work before God does work for you. You know what I'm saying? Nothing miraculous sat there to even happen. Noah had to build the ark for his family to be saved. You have to do the work first, and then God will do the rest. And this is what a lot of pastors and preachers and all that stuff don't understand. They sit there and wait for a George Lucas industrial light and magic special effect that God's going to sit there and come and rescue all of us, when that's not the fact. We got to get on the ground. We got to sit there and do the work. We got to preach the gospel. We got to do what we got to do and get our families, get our souls right. As it goes on, I got more stuff coming up. I'm going to sit there and look at some, and I'm putting a link up. So if anybody wants to sit there and come in, there's a link, and talk about this. If you want to troll, you can go ahead and troll and all that stuff. And I'm sitting there looking at more stuff. Hold on one second. Okay. All right. Here's something. Now what's going on that people are sitting there, the news is sitting there talking about cyber attacks, and they're sitting there trying to say that Russia's gonna create a cyber attack and all that stuff like that. This is from reporters called the X22 Geopolitical Report. And this is stuff that basically the MSM is not going to talk about. The reason being that the MSM is not going to talk about it because, number one, it's against their narrative. Now, I've been following these guys since like 2016, 17, and they're really, really good because, number one, is that they really put stuff into perspective. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick back on here. All right. Because I says, man, it's a lot of information and stuff like that, you know, and people got to know what's going on, what's happening, you know, and how are we going to get through all this? What's on the horizon? The reason being I'm saying what's on the horizon because right now the dollar is getting ready to fall. All right, there's threats of cyber attacks, which was actually talked about from the WEF, from the World Economic Forum, Charles Schwab, George Soros, Fink, and I forgot what the other guy's name is called. Us worthless eaters, and the biggest saying that's all around is that you will have nothing and you will be happy. The controlling of the controlling of our pharmaceutical, the controlling of our thought, calling that people that have conservative values or Christian values, that we are considered terrorists or considered oppressors and all that stuff like that. And we're just sitting there blowing off as la 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 la, living our lives and not realizing that, our actual freedoms are at stake here. So now I'm going to sit there and go on this and check this out, man, because I said this is information I'm trying to throw out to you and what's going on. Let's check it out.
He was going to be the bait for everything. Every arrow, every sling, every bullet, anything that they threw at him, he was going to take, no matter what. Because he knew that he stepped in front of all of us. They're really after the people of this country.
Exactly.
They're really after we, the people.
Exactly.
He's blocking them, saying, if you want to get to them, you need to go through me. So he baited them in, and he wanted to show the American people firsthand how corrupt the system is.
Now, just on that note, okay, everybody's saying, well, why don't he do something now? Why didn't he do something then? And you know what? As I says, my faith is not in Donald Trump. My faith is in God. But it's very funny it's very funny on how all this stuff is sitting there playing out. Because what has happened is that now there's precedent. Okay, the taxes, indicting a former president. All right, raiding a former president's house. Okay, trying to get at him because he has classified documents that the president himself can classify any document and take it with them at any time. And then it comes to why didn't they get Biden? He had him in a garage. All right. Why they get Pence? Why didn't they get Hillary Clinton with the computer with all the emails and classified information on a computer? Let us continue.
How bad the system is. And you won't be able to see this in a month, in 2 months, 3 months, because you needed to wake up the population. And a lot of the population wasn't paying attention. So you needed at different phases to wake certain groups up so they could see how bad the country is. And if you look from the very, very beginning to where we are today, at every phase, you've seen the American people wake up. You've seen the American people see the corruption, the election interference. You've seen the American people say, wow, I see the FBI, Department of Justice, DHS, CDC. They're all corrupt agencies. I see the election interference.
Facts.
I see how they interfered in the elections. I see how corrupt it is and how they don't follow the rule of law. This is what he was out there doing. He was showing the American people by standing in front of us how corrupt and how this criminal syndicate operates. Now, his mission is not complete. Yes, there's a lot of people that have woken up. There's a lot of people that understand this, but he needs to have the deep state do everything to him first so he can turn this around on them. Because once it happens to him first, where he's indicted, which we're seeing today, where they came after his tax returns and they made him go all the way up to the Supreme Court, he needs all of this to happen, even maybe being put in jail. And I know this is going to make a lot of people crazy. And a lot of people say, wait, what's going on here? Wait, he might go to jail? Well, it seems that to complete this entire mission, he's going to have to take it to the nth degree, because the people have to see firsthand how the criminal syndicate will jail their political opponent. I mean, you really only see this in banana republics. And actually, I do believe Trump continually says we are becoming a third world banana republic. So sometimes you need to see this firsthand, and the people need to see how bad it really is. And I do believe we might be headed in this direction. Now, at the same time that this is all happening, we know the deep state players, they don't want the truth getting out there. And we know that they're probably, most likely, they're going to use a cyber attack to shut down communications, maybe even shut down the internet, shut down certain areas with power, because they need to shut down the flow of information. They don't have the control over the flow of information. And already we're starting to hear stories about, oh, look, there was a global cyber attack. Oh, look, Russia's saying that they can actually blow up the communication lines under the sea because Biden went ahead and blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. We're already starting to see the narrative being built for all of this. And what we're seeing is where the Patriots, where they're bringing them down this path of where they want them to be.
Now, have y'all heard about that? But them actually blowing like our infrastructure. Do you know where actually our infrastructure is? It goes there's a there's a there's a line, okay? There's a fiber optic line that goes through the Atlantic Ocean to the other side of the world. Okay? This fiber optic line does the worldwide internet. Okay? Right now, at this particular point in time, right, they're getting ready to hack the whole infrastructure, shut down banks, and all that. And they're all going to blame this on Russia. So let's sit here and think about this really quick. All right. Why would Russia, when when they are the top gas supplier to Europe, okay? Why would they blow up? Why would they blow up their own gas line? All right. Now, due to trade and all that stuff like that, because still they got trade, Russia trades with other countries and stuff like that. Why would Russia try to destroy the internet infrastructure to the whole world? Why would they do that? It don't make any sense. And it comes, and then another question: if Ukraine was actually winning the war, all right, against Russia, why are we still sending our military munitions and money still to Ukraine every single month, while Ukraine is supposed to win? Now, does this really make sense? Let's think about it. Does this make sense? You know, I mean, you guys sit there and look from World War II. One of the biggest Nazi posts was inside of Ukraine. Okay, and little do y'all know out there that it's kind of crazy when the man we're supposed to hate is the one person that's saying that we as a country need Jesus Christ. And they're moving so hard to take Jesus Christ, all right, to take Jesus Christ out, out of our culture. Take God out of our culture. Take everything everything that we are that's righteous out of our culture. Meanwhile, meanwhile, you have Hollywood, you have sports, even your friends around you glorifying the devil, wanting them to be evil because it's fun. doing the witchcraft and all that. These are some dark times. These people are lost. And we have to get out there and get in the midst of it and do what God sets us out to do. There's no time to be afraid, y'all. You know? And yes, and then I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. And some of us is going to get killed doing it. But at the end of the day, we'll be back like Obi-Wan Kenobi, kid, even better. Let us proceed.
Trump, he's not just the bait. He's baiting them in and bringing them down the path. He wants them to follow the playbook that he set out. So when playbook is known, it's actually what the Patriots want them to do. And what you do is you create certain instances to force them into doing what you want them to do.
Hey, John,
And
what's
yes,
up,
there's
man?
also a plan, and there are certain individuals that are part of the plan that are pushing this entire operation in the direction they want it to go. Why do you think Trump knows about the war? Why do
Exactly.
you think Trump knows about what's going to happen with Taiwan? You think he's
Exactly.
sitting there in front of a crystal ball going, oh, I'm looking into the future and I can see the future? No, he knows this because it's been planned out. There are certain actors that are playing the role that are going along with this to remove and destroy the deep state. Actually, if you realize what he's been saying, and he's been using the word deep state, that we're going to
When a lot
obliterate
of
them.
people on
We're
these
going
main
to
panels, deep
destroy
state,
them.
and like, yeah,
We're
right,
going
right,
to
right.
have justice. And they've been, and I'm talking about the Patriots, they've been sending us messages, letting us know this is the direction we're heading in. And I do believe this time around, the deep state players, they don't have the ability to cheat electronically like they did before. They don't
Facts, and they're
have the
pissed.
ability to cheat with paper ballots like they did before. They don't have the resources, the ability to take such an undertaking to actually cheat on the level they're going to have to cheat. Because now think about how many people are behind Trump. Do you think everything that they're doing, it's hurting him? No. More and more people are with him. More and more people are going to vote for him. They know this. Trump knows this. He's bringing them into an area where he can control all of this. And this is why I do believe in the end, the deep state players, they're going to use a cyber event to say a country attacked us. They're going to try to bring us to the precipice of war. And we might even see some scary things. And we mentioned that before in other reports. And you can see that they're already building this up. Now, I do believe
And
Trump,
you see
he
this on
sent
the
us a
MSN.
message
You
because he
see
put
what's
out
going
the
on.
same exact video that Dan Scavino put out, where you see the caravan going to Bedminster, and the song that is playing is from The Phantom of the Opera. But I do believe Trump is letting us know that we must fight. We can't sit back. We must all fight against the deep state players. Because if we're going to take the country back, we need to understand the criminal syndicate. We need to see how dirty and how infiltrated the system is. We need to
Facts.
see it all. And I do believe this is exactly what's playing out right now. And this is going to allow the people to fight back. It's going to allow the people
We
to
have
take
to.
back the country. It's
We
going to
have to
allow the
fight
people
back.
to keep the country because they fought for it. And I do believe Trump just sent us a message. Now, we're going to be talking a lot more about this a little bit later. But first, let's talk about what's happening with Biden, because it seems that, as the fake news would say, the walls are closing in around him. Tom Fitton put this out and said the following: Delaware Supreme Court questions University of Delaware's refusal to release Biden Senate docs. So the Delaware Supreme Court justices heavily questioned the University of Delaware's rationale for refusing to release President Joe Biden's Senate papers during oral arguments. The Daily Caller News Foundation and Judicial Watch, they filed an appeal with the Delaware Supreme Court in January after the Superior Court held that the university had satisfied the burden of proof needed to justify denying the records along with related communications and agreement, which they had requested in 2020. During the hearing, Justice Legro pushed back on the university's argument by reading part of the Supreme Court's prior opinion, which she noted seems to say something else. Unless it is clear on the face of the request that the requested records are not subject to the Freedom of Information Act, the public body must search for responsive records, requiring the university to create a document that would allow the Superior Court to determine on remand whether it performed an adequate search. You didn't perform a search, she said. How can this court even conclude that what you did is consistent with this prior decision? The public has a right to know who's paying for the Biden documents and how they are being kept. The records have been housed at the University of Delaware Library since 2012, when Biden provided them with the understanding that they would not be publicly released until they had been properly processed and archived. Information contained in the records could relate to Tara Reid, who accused Biden of sexually abusing her while working in his Senate office in 1993, or the president's son, Hunter Biden, who is under investigation for the alleged failure to pay taxes and lying on federal firearms forms.
And now she's looking to go to Russia.
Right now, and this is the trick that they use. Well, we haven't gone through the records. We haven't sorted them out, so we can't hand this over to you. And we see that the Daily Caller and Judicial Watch, they are continually pushing and pushing for these records.
She's seeking asylum in Russia because she believes they're going to try to kill her.
Because he knows if these records get out there, which I do believe they're eventually going to get out there, he knows it is game over for him. And it looks like that time is quickly approaching, because think about everything else that we're seeing. We're seeing all the evidence pour out. Actually, Comer is saying he's going to have more information, and there might even be $20-30 million worth of bribes and money going back and forth. But Sean Davis, he put this out on Twitter. He said the following: a highly trusted confidential source told the FBI that Burisma's president was rattled by Trump's victory, fearing an investigation would reveal the Burisma executive's bribes to the Biden family.
Remember back in the day, and even when I talked to my thing, when I talked about Burisma,
$5 million payment to Joe Biden. According to the source, whose recollections are contained in a report the FBI tried to hide, the Burisma executive said the Bidens had coerced him into paying the bribes, and that he had recordings of the conversation with Joe Biden himself. Grassley revealed a foreign national identified by individuals with knowledge of the matter as Burisma founder Zlochevsky alleged possessed 17 recorders implicating the Bidens in a pay-to-play scandal, while 15 of the audio recordings consisted of phone calls between Zlochevsky and Hunter Biden. 2 were of calls of the Ukrainian had with then Vice President Joe Biden. And this is according to the FD 1023. The Federalists,
which that was a document that wasn't that they wouldn't get, that they were having a hard time getting from him earlier. That F-23 document.
Zlochevsky to pay the bribes. And sources familiar with the investigation also explain that the context of Zlochevsky's statement, that the context further bolsters the CHS's reporting. And really go back in time. Think about it. Right now, we're learning that Biden, he's involved in money laundering, bribes, you name it.
Which was always known, but no one believed us. And that's all coming out on the MSN.
They covered up. And this is what Biden was doing. And this is what the deep state was doing, the criminal syndicate. They were covering up all their crimes, and they were projecting this all onto Trump with impeachment hoax number 1. Because with impeachment hoax number 1, what they did was they tried to make it seem like Trump was involved in a pay or a quid pro quo, but it was really Biden. Biden was the one receiving the bribes. Biden was the one money laundering. Biden was the one doing all of this. And it was very interesting because if you go back in time, when this whole thing was happening with Zelensky, with Trump's phone call, which he completely released, it was completely transparent. There was a recording of Biden talking about how he was forcing the Ukrainian government to do what he wanted, or he was going to hold back funds. And that right there is, quid pro quo. He's the one who did this. And now with all this information coming out, it's all starting to make sense to the American people. Now, of course, we have been watching this. We have been observing this. We understood this, but the American people didn't understand this. And what's very interesting about this is right now with
all
Biden,
that garbage
we
that
don't
was coming
see
out on
any
the
of the
MSN.
fake news outlets reporting on this. New York Times, Washington Post, USA Today, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS. It seems like they're not really reporting on any of this. And they tried to cover all of this up by going after Trump and indicting him on fake charges. This is how they continually cover up their crimes. But we can see what's happening right now. As they continue to try to cover up the crimes, it's making it worse because the people can see through all this. I do believe this is why Trump and the Patriots needed to wake up the American people first, because now with the American people not listening to the propaganda of the fake news and they're thinking for themselves and
A
they're
lot.
thinking
I'm going to
logically,
say now.
they can see through everything that is going on and they can see who the true criminals are. This is why Trump, this is why more and more people are flocking to him. This is why the deep state isn't succeeding in what they're trying to do, where they're trying to get him to.
The rhyme gets rougher, Heather. The rhyme gets rougher. It's going to have to get a lot harder before it gets any better. We're just at the tip of the iceberg, and that'll be coming up pretty soon.
To take a deal or do something to bow out of the elections. Everything that they're trying to do is not going to work because Trump took the time to wake the American people up very, very slowly so they could see the criminal syndicate. And he exposed who the agencies, who the players are, so the people could understand as we move forward. And this is not going to get better for them. This is going to get a lot worse. Now, we're going to be talking a lot more about what's going to happen to Trump and what's going to happen in this country, because I think things are really building up right now. And over the next year, everything's going to accelerate like we've never seen before. And things are going to look scary. Things are going to look dim or not the way you think it's going to play out. But again, the Patriots are in control, and they're the ones who are bringing the deep state down this path. Just like Trump and the Patriots showed everyone how the deep state is going to allow all the illegals into this country, how they're not going to shut down the borders. Remember, he could have finished the wall. He could have had that wall done, no problem whatsoever. He's a builder. He knows how long it's going to take. He knows that he could finish these things. I mean, just look at all the other things that he finished in record time. Why did he leave the wall open? Because he wanted to show the American people the true criminal syndicate, how these individuals were going to let in drug traffickers, human traffickers, child traffickers, MS-13 gang members, how they were going to bring in children into this country that really didn't have families and use them for pedophilia or slave labor. He wanted the American people to see the true criminal syndicate. He didn't want to explain it. He wanted every single person to see it. And he wanted everyone to see the deep state players. He wanted everyone to see how they will lie to your face, and then their actions, they were going to do the opposite. Let's take, for example, what's happening out in New York. Remember, there's a sanctuary city. We're going to accept every illegal in
Remember
here
all that?
because we are an open and free country. Yes, we are an open and free country, but we vet our people. Do we really want criminals running around the streets? Do we really want gang members running around the streets? Well, that's why you vet people, just like you vet people coming into your home. Do you just open the door and say, anybody can come in here? No problem. Well, Mayor Adams tried to convince everyone, you know what? We love the illegals so much. We're going to allow them into Gracie Mansion. We're going to put them up in rooms to show you this is what we're going to do because we are that country. Well, he's already backtracking. And yes, what do? They say, well, because of legal precedent and because of the law and legal issues, we just can't do that. So instead of bringing them into Gracie Mansion, how about you bring them into your other home? How about we compromise? Okay, you're saying it's legal issues. We know it's BS. Why don't you bring these individuals, and you can't vet them, by the way, because they haven't been vetted coming into this country. So you don't have the ability to vet them either because you're telling us we should just let everyone in, right? Bring them into your other home. Let them live there with your family. Let your cousins take them in. How come he's not doing that? If you notice, his actions now aren't matching what he said. He didn't know there was going to be legal issues. He didn't check this out before he mentioned this. Actually, this is what he said. I think leading the challenge of migrant problem is both substantive and symbolic. And as I always said, good generals lead from the front. So it's symbolic. So basically, he's telling everyone it's just a symbolic gesture. I wasn't really planning on letting people stay in here. I just wanted to show everyone that this is what you should do, but I'm not actually going to do it. So, but you can do it. Let them go to your private residence. Let them go to your brothers, your sisters, your cousins. Let them all take them in. Remember, no vetting. Whoever you get, and you need to deal with it, just like the country is dealing with it, because you told us we don't need to vet people. You think they're going to do it? Absolutely not. Now, the other thing that's very interesting is we're learning that all these fact checkers, and we know from the very beginning that they're not really checking facts. They were brought into existence because people were telling the truth, and the fake news was losing the propaganda narrative, and they needed a way to counter that, so they needed to bring in fact checkers. So what we come to find out from a new study from the Washington Free Beacon, they analyzed political contributions from U.S. employees who call themselves fact checkers, and it reveals that an astounding 99.5% of their donations went to Democrats. That's right, nearly 100%. That means that the policing of the internet for facts is being carried out by partisan Democrats who nearly exclusively target conservatives and independents for fact checks. Isn't that interesting?
Thanks for coming,
Then
Lord Truth.
America First Legal found something else out, and they exposed what is really going on. A secret list of journalists pushing propaganda on behalf of the U.S. government has been revealed as a result of our litigation against the State Department to uncover the dark truth about the Global Engagement Center. We obtained more documents from our lawsuit against the State Department about the GEC, exposing the international censorship czars. Meet the 11 journalists who decide what you can see online. And it's Anna Brakis, Angie Holland, Barbara Whitaker, Ellen, I'm not even going to pronounce her last name, and the list goes on and on and on. Key takeaways from all this. The global cabal of fact checkers do not appear to be benevolent truth seekers, they say. They appear to be highly ideological activists affiliated through the Pointer Network, backed by the same money to say the same thing. Their claim of independence is hilarious. Independent means free from the influence of others. But as we will see, all fact checkers claim the credential of IFCN, a Poynter-backed organization that gives them their legitimacy to influence content moderation online. First up, meet Angela Holland, editor-in-chief, PolitiFact. She's been involved with this area since PolitiFact launched in 2007, and she won a Pulitzer in 2009. She is deeply intertwined in the Poynter Network and lectures and teaches others the ways of censorship. As AFL has previously shown, Poynter runs PolitiFact and FactCheckNet, which was initially funded by the Department of State, funded National Endowment for Democracy, Google, Facebook, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and George Soros Open Society. Matt Taibbi report on censorship industrial complex. Poynter is number 8 on the list of 50 organizations to know. There he reports that in an election Slack, the FBI asked about 2 tweets, and Twitter trust and safety staffer cites PolitiFact as the authority for striking a piece of content writing. This is proven to be false via this. So we can see from all of this that all these fact checkers, they're not really checking facts. They're just trying to create and control the narrative. Because what happened? The fake news, they lost the narrative. We have truth tellers out there on all different platforms that were combating the fake news. They were losing the battle. So they needed to bring in fact checkers to boost them up, saying that they were telling the truth. The fact checkers didn't work. The people saw through this, and the truth tellers continually told the truth. No matter what happens, if you continually tell the truth over and over, and you have facts to back it up, no matter how much propaganda they throw at you, no matter if they use fact checkers that they're pointing to other propaganda, it will always lose in the end. The truth will always win. And that's what we've been seeing. And actually, that's what President Trump has been doing. All he's been doing is telling the truth. Yes, they come at him with propaganda. Propaganda is flashy. It looks good. It sounds good. And people believe it in the very beginning. But what happens over time is that propaganda, it loses its shine. It loses its luster. And people start to see through it and they start to realize, wait a minute, it's looking more like a lie than actual news or the actual truth. And what Trump said, that's looking more like the truth, and that's starting to shine. And he has facts behind what he said. It took a little bit of time, but it always wins out no matter what. And I do believe Trump has been using this to his advantage this entire time, because he knew from the very beginning when he said fake news, he knew that they would use the propaganda as much as they possibly can to try to destroy him. And all he had to do was sit there, smile, and tell the truth. And the truth, look where we are today. The truth is winning. Look at the Russia hoax. In the very beginning, the propaganda looked flashy. The Steele dossier looked flashy. The P tape looked flashy. But now, it took some time, but the truth came out and said that was all fake. The D's, they paid for it. Hillary Clinton paid for it. The Alpha Bank hoax, the D's paid for it. Hillary Clinton paid for it. Look at all the other impeachments. Look at the election fraud. No one was really believing it. Now, if you look at the poll numbers, the people realize, yeah, the 2020 elections, there was election fraud. It looks like FBI, the CIA, they were involved in interfering in the election, because all Trump had to do over time was tell the truth and just repeat it. And the propaganda was going to completely implode on itself over time. And the people would eventually come to his side. And that is what we're seeing today. You didn't have to believe in the very beginning. See, you don't have to believe the truth. You don't have to say, I believe what Trump is saying. You don't have to believe any of it. It doesn't matter, because the truth is going to happen no matter what. Because as you keep telling the truth and you keep presenting the facts, that will always override it. So it doesn't matter if you don't believe, eventually you will.
Let's look at some other stuff dealing with the. Okay, they use the SPLC fact checker, but they are one of the biggest purveyors of the fake. Exactly. But at the same time, let's sit there and look at what's happening with this cyber attack that's supposed to happen. I ain't saying it is, I ain't saying it isn't. But at the same time, we do. Oh man, we do have to look at this. Okay, hold on. What is here? Here we go. The cyber attack narrative. This is from Lou Valentino. He was a liberal dude. Let's get into this. There's been a lot of military activity that's been happening around the United States. Very, very,
Look at this. I just spoke to this guy. He's telling me they're getting ready for some serious power outages, possibly EMP blast. I said that to him. He goes, anything's possible these days. But they're getting ready for a huge storm that's rolling up in here. He said they've been out here all night and they're just waiting. They got trucks set up on every street now. So, yep, they know something's coming.
Yep. Their shit is underground. your server.
Look, they're even over here. This is Verizon right here. He just said that they're getting ready. That was the electric company over there. I don't know what they're getting ready for, but they're getting ready for something big.
You think is coming is a recession. What your crazy friends might say to you is coming is maybe a depression. You'd be mistaken. Those are lies. What is coming is a collapse of the dollar. You haven't had one of those. We've never experienced the collapse of the dollar, of the world's reserve currency. This will make us Venezuela. Make no mistake. If you want to be prepared, prepare yourself like people should have prepared in Venezuela. Soon, I don't know when, but it will happen overnight. Soon, everything will be collapsing and the banks will close and there will be chaos.
All right, so for the last day, I've been trying to figure out how to make this video, right? Because I'm not a fear monger type of guy. I'm a prepared now, always stay prepared type of guy. But I don't know if you guys have been noticing, right? Tanks in LA, tanks in Atlanta, tanks in Philly, right? Helicopters, planes driving low. Flying low, excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to hit the like button. Follow me on Rumble at Lou Valentino. You guys know we're on 2 strikes, but I just feel, I don't know if you guys wake up, but you guys feel like, yo, something's about to pop off, right? There were cyber attacks not too long ago, I think somewhere in Europe, and I think some U.S. agencies were hit as well. So a lot of rumors and a lot of things are just going around, right? There's just, it's a weird time to be alive. Let's just
I've been seeing a lot of this myself.
Comment down below and let me know what you guys think.
Inside information boards.
So I ran into this video from this guy. I don't know his name. I'm not even gonna say his name for the video's sake. Maybe I will. I'll drop him down below, down in the comments. And
this is just a confirmation of what I've been seeing myself.
So first he says, yeah, I might want to listen to this video since multiple sources have confirmed. Take it with a grain of salt, but be prepared for anything. Told you the next couple weeks will be spicy. Then he says, 250 cities worldwide held on cyber ransom. Massive cyber attacks imminent. Possible blackout with lockdown or light martial law.
With my thing really bad.
Been hearing about this blackout. I kind of been talking about this on Rumble a lot. I've been talking to you guys about this a lot, where I've just been having this feeling and this, like, not a dream, but this imminent imagination of, like, I feel like at some point there's going to be some type of blackout where people are just not going to be able to just, use their phones. They're not going to be able to, people are going to panic because people are so used to the technology nowadays. They're so used to being on their phones. They're so used to, they don't even remember phone numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like people just are so dependent on technology that when the power does go out, it is going to be pure chaos, in my opinion. All right. Exact time frame and severity unknown, but expected in the next couple of weeks. Everything we've thought would, excuse me, let me take myself off. Everything we thought would happen in the last couple of years, we've been prepared for this. This is it. Patriots will know what to do and how to handle the situation. Normies won't know what hit them. They won't know what to do or what to do next or what to know next. Be kind and help others. So once again, this message is out there. I'm gonna show you guys videos, obviously, of what's been going on in the air, what's been going on in the ground, and what are some of the things that could be happening. And so I wanted to play this video for you guys after reading that from this guy. Once again, I don't know his name, but I'll drop it down below. Excuse the video is a little buffery, but I just want to really take a listen to what he has to say, and we'll see what's up. You guys let me know what you think about it.
I was in Doral, and Nicolette and I met somebody there, and specifically her. And we ended up starting to work with them behind the scenes regarding some stuff on the website, things like that. And she told me, like, hey, you have to meet them, and you have to meet them. So I finally decided to meet them, not in person, but online, through a call. And I was connected with them. So behind the scenes, we now, in the last months, have a source who is very credible. At the time, I wasn't sure they were credible. I'm very skeptical on people who say that they have stuff or know stuff, etc. And so, over time, this person had done some stuff for us that made it seem more credible and kind of proved it out. They are involved in some 3-letter agencies, very high up. Some of the ones, I'm not going to say them now because I don't want to out anybody.
Same here.
But did some work for us that really proved out that they knew what they're talking about. So fast forward to today, and they've been giving us little breadcrumbs along the way, not to keep us from it, but just to kind of let us know things are going in the direction that we've talked about for a couple of years. So today I get a text from this person and said, hey, I need to brief you on something. Should take like 5 minutes. So I was getting ready to drive. So I'm like, okay, real quick, what's up? I had like 5 to 10 minutes. This was the message given to me, which I have been given permission to give to you guys. Now, since this has occurred, this has been triple plus confirmed to me by other sources as well. But the first source came from this person who received emails from internal department heads, I believe, within government, I guess you could say. And this is the message. There are currently 250, roughly, I believe is the number, cities in the world, including America, of course, who are being held ransom in cyber attack fashion. Right now. One just happened a couple days ago. They cleaned it up. But right now, globally, I'm told imminently. Now, when I say imminently, I don't have an exact number for you, but it could be 5 minutes from now. It could be 48 hours from now. It could be a week or 2 weeks from now. It's not going to be like 6 months from now. That's what I was told. Like imminent. Also, that something like this could pop off on a weekend because they know that people aren't technically prepared.
Yeah, John, you wanted,
now,
but
keep in mind, the 21st, next week, summer solstice. We're talking cyber attacks across cities that would potentially shut cities down. An attack potentially on the infrastructure of America / and the financial system. It could lead into a lockdown situation, which could also lead to a soft martial law. And this was not like didn't say, hey, this could happen, this is what I think. This is not a prediction. I'm told this is what's going to happen. I'm also told to make sure your family is protected. Now, a lot of you I know are going to put in the comments, what does this mean? Give me details. What do you mean protected? This is all I can give you. This is what I was given. So what is that? Have phones ready, have food ready, all the stuff we've talked about for the last couple of years. What was also said was everything that you've been hearing about and planning for the last couple of years that we knew or thought was going to come to fruition, this is it. This is not a joke. He also said this is not a test. This is real. And I'm not saying that I don't want to stoke fear. I'm not trying to get clickbait. I received the call. I immediately talked to my people around me. I immediately called my wife, called friends. I called Scott McKay, calling other friends, and letting them know what is happening. this could look like a war on our infrastructure. They will hold our cities, again, ransom. Do not be surprised, and I don't know how this would occur, or if it will occur. I don't know the intensity of this. You might have problems with money. You might have problems with paying for stuff. You might have full-on lockdowns and blackouts in your neighborhoods and cities. I don't know. And I wish I could give you more details of it, but this is the general what's happening.
Yeah, that is crazy stuff. That's supposed to be, once again, this guy, he got it from a 3-letter source, so could be FBI, could be CIA, could be NSA, I don't know, could be the USA, right? That's a joke, by the way. No, you didn't laugh at that, but so a lot of people have been warning about this. Right? I saw Glenn Beck speak about this. I saw Dan Bongino speak about this. And there's just a lot of stuff going on right now that they're not really telling us about. They're not really speaking about this stuff to us. They're just gonna let it happen. And once again, heading into 2024, heading into presidential elections and all these different things that are happening, I don't know which side and I don't know who it is pulling the strings up top, but somebody's not happy with the way things are going. And the Great Reset is one of those things, and one of those, I guess, types of focuses that it feels like globalists, especially with America and around the world, have pretty much kind of put America to be like if we can get the Great Reset here, then we can get the Great Reset everywhere else. So that's an option of what I think is happening right now. I could be wrong. You know what? I would love to be wrong, but
Facts.
I just been seeing it too much on Twitter. I've been seeing it too much everywhere, all over social media. Everyone on TikTok sharing videos of what is going on in their sky, helicopters and planes landings, flying low. There's just too much going on to not ask the question. So I am going to ask you this question. What do you guys think is going on? What do you guys think is coming to America? And what do you guys think is coming to the world? Is it time to prepare? Are you also feeling like shit is about to break loose? Are you feeling that way? Because I'm definitely feeling that way. I don't know why, I just do. I wake up every day, I'm just like, I feel this way. So you guys let me know down in the comments. Let me know what I'm missing. Maybe this is nothing. Maybe this is a lie. Maybe this is fear mongering. You can also let me know about that as well. But I just have that feeling of like, I don't know, something just feels like it's about to pop off. And I don't think people are prepared for what's coming. And maybe it's a year from now. Maybe it's 5 years from now. But it's coming. It's coming. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one.
Shout out to Lou Valentino doing his thing. You know, I mean, it's kind of crazy what's going on. You know what I'm saying? We are in some very trying times at the moment. You know, and you know we do got to stay prayerful, man, on the for real to what's going on, because it's getting really crazy. And you know, and then just from all the other stuff that let's see what else I have prepared for this. Hold on one second. I don't know, man. My internet is like really messing up. I mean, if I could sit there and just, you know, here, I want to show you something. Look at this. Uh, wait a second. Building cyber, boom. Oh man, really? I am running. My internet is okay. Here we go. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of notifications and all that stuff like that. What's happening here? Wait a second. I am going through some serious. Hold on. Oh, man. Okay. Hold on one second, man. I'm going through some technical difficulty here. Uh, cancel. Cancel. Okay. Now let's get back at this. Wait, I'm really going through some. My whole screen is just going haywire for a second. Okay. Hold on. Man, everything is going crazy. Wow. You know what? I'm gonna sit there and take a break and do a video real quick. You know, if I can even do that. Wow, dude. Wow. I'm sorry, yo. I mean, I'm serious. Like all of a sudden, everything just went haywire. I'm trying to fix it all at the moment. Hold on. What the? Okay, that's better. I'm sorry. Something's really going on with my post. You know, I don't know what's going on here. Let me check my. All right, let me see something. Something ain't right. Okay, let me see if I hear myself real quick. Okay. All right,
Let me
hello.
see if I hear myself real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I think I got that part fixed. All right. Tidell. Okay, I think I'm better. Okay. Man, it's not letting me share stuff anymore. Wow. Well, check this out, y'all. Yeah, my audio is good. Yeah, my screen is like everything here. I never had a problem like this, but it's like really messing with my feed and stuff like that. I'm gonna leave the studio. Yo, I'm gonna leave the studio real quick and I'm gonna come back. Hold on 1 second. Yo, I'm on here right now. I had to go on my phone. I'm very, very sorry. I gotta reset my computer real quick and stuff. Um, hold on. 'Cause I got more info. I'm very, very sorry. I don't know. My computer just froze up all of a sudden. And what I'm going to do is I'm looking at more, see what's on there, post comment, broadcast info, private chat, uh, settings. Okay, y'all hear me fine? Yeah, something is definitely wrong. But you know what? As I said, time for me to go. I can see that right now. They don't want me talking anymore. But you can also see me on Rumble. I'm going to upload this video on Rumble as well. And everybody just stock up whatever is going on. And I got so much more information that I need to send up and stuff. But again, you know, keep your faith in God and all that good stuff. And we out of here, man. Does you have to know some of this? Some of this news that's going on. I'll be back pretty soon. I'll be going live on Rumble if everything's still all right. Stay prayerful and all that. And I'm out.
Flat night in my car, man.